If you're bold and you know it, clap your hands. If you're bold and you know it, clap your hands. If you're bold and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're bold and you know it, clap your hands. If you're hiding and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're hiding and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're hiding and you know it and you don't want to show it, if you're hiding and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're ready and you know it, say hooray, hooray! If you're ready and you know it, say hooray, hooray! If you're ready and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're ready and you know it, say hooray. All right, sisters. Hello, I am Enchantress Shane and I run a course called Fuck Your Fears. And the name of my everything is the Awkward Academy. Now, I used to be a preschool teacher, hence the fucking song. I used to be a stripper, hence the like bodacious, like audacious body image, feeling, sense, makeup. And what I really know about us as human beings is we are full of polarity. And what that means is we have opposing forces in us all the time. See me. I don't want to be seen. I want money. Oh, I have none. All these opposite things, it's who we are. So, as entrepreneurs, as businesswomen, I want us to really own the fact that we are fucking bold just by owning a business. 1957, Good Housekeeping had an article that said how to keep your husband happy or something like that. And it said, speak in hushed tones, tie your hair back in a bow, and wait to be spoken to. And there was a list of others. And everyone in this group, 500,000 fucking women, have said no. I am going to own a business. I'm going to make money. And you are all rewriting the paradigm that women have been in some of our lifetimes. I'm 45, and so I wasn't alive in 1957, but my mother was. And so giving yourself credit for being bold is the very first step. Now, everybody's bold looks different. My bold looks like this. Your bold looks like you. So the teachings that we've all learned to compare ourselves, it fucking sucks and it doesn't work. And what I really truly believe is that when you are bold, when you feel bold, when I feel bold, it feels counterintuitive. It feels wrong. It feels scary. And a lot of times women retreat out of it. So giving yourself credit that you're bold just because you're an entrepreneur is the very first step, and really lean on that. You know, when you need deep rest, when you want to take a break, give yourself permission to enjoy that. Now, that's the easy part. The part where people feel stuck, the part where women feel stuck, is often a part, and I spoke about this last week too, is the inner teenager in us. That's like, don't tell me what to do. I don't want to be seen. Leave me alone. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to be caught rambling on. I'm the jack of all trades. Now, I've been coaching since 2006. And what I have found, whether I'm working with mothers, business women, men who want more intimacy in their lives, is that the human experience has options. That's not what I wanted to say, but I got a little, three fucking things came to my head at once. So the human experience is really up to you. Now, it's much easier to have a boss and complain about that boss. It's much easier to get a job and to make that job wrong, bad, evil. But when you step into the entrepreneur as whether it's a side hustle or a full-time gig, The only person to blame is yourself. And good on you that you found a place to put your passion, because when women don't have a business, they often just implode and make themselves wrong, no matter how much self development they're learning. So I have a background in special education, and what I know to be true is kids are different with different people. So our inner children, our inner, yeah, if you don't know what an inner child is, let me know. And also, I want to encourage you to say hello, take part in this, is that there is a part of me that is insecure, shy, that doesn't feel worth it. That voice is very quiet these days, and also that voice doesn't mean so much to me. So when the insecurity comes up, I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm living in this dream house that I created, that I manifested for real. Um, I'm sitting with everything. I've been doing so much retail therapy during this pandemic that it's absurd that I'm not like bankrupt, but I'm not. I made 6 figures last year during the pandemic in 2020, and I'm scheduled to make more. And just 3 years ago, I had my electricity shut off. Like, I am in a place to see women's greatness, and the word bold is not something we have been trained to embrace at all, ever. In fact, you have been trained, I have been trained to not be ready, to let the perfectionist part of you have the final say, to let the perfectionist say, you could do better, just wait. Or maybe you've created your website, you have all your pictures, you're so excited, but you have no clients. Who gives a shit about your website? You're here to be of service. Whether you're selling a product or you're coaching or you're supporting somebody in their problem that they're going through. It's so easy to get caught and snagged in the not ready. And when you're stuck, that inner teenager starts to get louder. And for you to find out the language of your inner teenager is worth $1 million. Because once you start to recognize and hear her, you will be able to, in real time, catch that moment, find out what that part of you needs, give it, and then fucking move forward with the integrated version of yourself. Let me break that down. So I might wake up and feel like, ugh, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. This hasn't happened in a while, but I remember what it's like. Nobody understands what I do for my work. I don't have any money. Am I ever going to be a full-time entrepreneur? What am I actually doing except wasting money and time? Well, that is the voice of the teenager in high school. It's not exactly my teenage experience, but that voice, that young, insecure, unknowing, untrusting voice is that of a teenager who is unsure of how she shows up in the world. Now, it's great to hear that noise, to hear those words, and to be like, oh, my inner teenager self-doubts. What does she actually need? Now, my inner teenager, I'll tell you what she needs. She loves attention. So my inner teenager, because now I know that voice about myself, and this is what I do with clients, is I figure out and I listen and then ask questions. My inner teenager loves hoop earrings. I never wear hoop earrings. They're annoying. They get stuck in my hair. But when I realized when I put the hoop earrings on, my inner teenager is running the show. And you know what else she likes to do? She likes to spend fucking money on bullshit. So when I noticed I'm going to the supermarket with some high boots and hoop earrings, and I'm buying candles and notebooks and bullshit, I'm like, oh, my inner teenager. Now, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't put on the hoops and the boots and go buy bullshit at the supermarket. But if I'm aware that I'm doing that to satiate my inner teenager, then she gets to do that activity, but she does not get to make live videos. without realizing that the teenager is doing the talking. My inner teenager does not get to do my sales calls where she's basically saying, do you like me? Do you want to give me money? She does not get to go on dates. She does not get to swipe on fucking dating apps. My inner teenager has a limit and a boundary. Now, I used to be a parent coach, so I'm talking about your inner teenager, your inner parent, so that you can differentiate what activities need to be done when there's different parts activated in you. And I really want to encourage questions because I know I'm saying a lot. And when nobody's interacting, I'm just going to go off on a tangent. So the other piece is, if you want to work with me, of course, just slide in my DMs. I used to give an application and sometimes I still do. But right now I just filled my program called Fuck Your Fears, the Courage Course. I signed 3 men clients in the last 2 months. So I'm kind of just like, hit me up. Let's see what happens. That changes. Now, that is my integrated self. The confident businesswoman, the teenager who's loving my lipstick, the businessman who has a linear plan, and the little girl who's so happy to be looking at these pretty ass roses, to be looking at my art behind me. And when we operate from a whole self, there are no limits. When I am operating from my teenager self, I might say there's an application and then I'm going to let you know when you can schedule because I'm special. Now, sometimes that works, but that's a very insecure energy that I'm putting. Now, I might be also really booked up and I might say, just fill out an application so you can have a better session with me. So this is all very subtle energies, right? Like, I am a strategist when it comes to being visible, but the deep shadow work, the deep, like, independent family systems work that operates in us is just as important as strategy. Because if your inner teenager is feeling needy and she's writing a fucking blog or doing a video, the energy that gets put out is the energy that you feel. The insecure, the self-doubt. That's why it's important to know who's in charge of me today. Who's running the show? Now, if it's my little inner child, my little girl, she's just like, hi, I'm live. I can't stay on the same topic. I have shiny object syndrome. I'm going to pay this coach and I'm going to buy this program and I'm going to get my website done and I'm going to start a friggin' podcast, and nothing gets done, but everything is started. Let me know if you resonate with that. That's little girl energy. And she's just like, I'm an entrepreneur. Yay! Nothing gets finished. Ideas spoken about, lingering in the air. By the way, if you want to join my group, it's the Awkward Enchanted Coven. There's a lot of creatives and amazing women who are willing to go into the deep work. There's less than 1,000 women because I keep inviting people to leave if they don't want to be there. Now, let me keep it simple. So I talk about mostly the inner teenager and the little girl in us. And the grown-up goddess, well, she just fucking lays down and she trusts that all is unfolding beautifully and she doesn't have to do shit. Those parts are the most important. The last part that's also important, and we also have hundreds of parts, is the inner masculine. The businessman in us that is so clear and so direct and caring, but not people-pleasing, trusts himself, but not a perfectionist. And that is important for sales calls. That part of us is important for sales calls, for strategy, for hiring anybody to work on our business. And who we are, we show up as the integration of all these parts. So the teenager, the little girl, the masculine, they're invited, but they're not running the show. You, as the integrated of all these parts, is the front man for your business, for your life. And so hearing those signs and being aware is everything. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I have a great idea. I'm going to have a podcast. Ooh. And then you start right away. You go on Amazon, you order your camera, your mic, your blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, your blog isn't finished. Your people are not seeing you on live video. You don't have consistency. Well, guess what? That little girl energy needs a nap. So she's going to order all this stuff, get really excited, and then she's going to be like, and then you're just not going to do it. So it's great to write it all down, to give yourself permission to see these parts. And maybe your little inner girl, instead of creating a podcast, maybe she goes and colors on a page and then comes back to the idea, do I really want to do a fucking podcast every week? Do I really want to interview guests every week? Maybe. Well, let me set it up before I announce it, and maybe I just want to do one interview. So then you get to strategize, where do you want to put your energy? You know, let me tell you something. There are so many distractions about where to put your energy for your business. But at the end of the day, wouldn't it feel nice to just have some money, you know, and then know that your business is real versus just like having your website, doing all the back end, but having no clients? Instead of having a website, you could have a funnel, get some clients, use that money to do something for yourself. So everybody's different. I don't have one method to work with people, but I do love working with women that admit they're awkward and that admit that they can't show up if they have their period. Or I heard my business manager talk about this today. You know, how can you consider yourself a business person if you can't be consistent? She didn't say that. I'm saying that. If you're not consistent, clients are going to be like, clients' nervous systems are like, I don't see her. Where the fuck did she go? I'm committing to being here every Friday because I run something called the Friday Coven on my regular Facebook page. So this is a bookend. So that means two things are glued, happening together. If you have all the fucking time in the world and you're not being consistent, it's because your little inner girl is like, she's like airy, finding things to look at, thinking about what she should buy, thinking about a business name. Don't get stuck on that stuff. If you're committed to being of service, that means, what problems are your clients having? Where are they getting stuck? They're going to find the value of you being able to help them with that versus having pretty fucking colors. Like, you might be able to sell a $20 program, product, whatever. But if you want to become a six-figure coach, if you want to up-level, whatever that means to you, if you want to live in your bold, you're going to have to make bold moves that are based on your whole self. Now, there is no other place that I know of. I was a preschool teacher and I was a stripper, where no, I've never gotten in trouble about that. It's ridiculous, right? So like, I'm living my whole life. I'm super fucking smart. I'm super fucking sexy. I'm also super insecure. I'm also super bold. So the polarity, right? What we began this talking about is that there's never going to be, oh, I'm bold. That's it. No, you go from bold to insecure maybe in one day. But if you can catch those moments where you're bold, you're feeling bold in your body, and then you take an action, you start to build a track record that cannot be fucking denied. Now, I built this track record. I have a program. I think it's $57 right now. And it's my manifestation process. I am in this manifestation. I am in this beach house down the block from the ocean in New York City, in Rockaway Beach, Queens. Sisters, I swear I never thought I could do this in New York. And I did it. I did a process. I was so committed, like a loon. I've never been so committed. And people say like, why wouldn't you do this process again? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not consistent. And It's possible for the least consistent part of you, if you want something so bad, that you can get out of your own way. And it doesn't happen in isolation. It doesn't happen alone. It doesn't happen by being a keyboard warrior. It happens by receiving consistent support, whoever you work with, so that you can be consistent. And that inner teenager is going to come up and she's going to be like, oh, yeah? You think you're going to help other people? You can't even help yourself. So that voice has to have a track record that makes it be quiet, you know? Now, you have all this information, I'm sure, in different places. And information is only potential power unless you take an action. I just did a talk and it was called I Don't Make Mistakes. And I honor that because I don't make mistakes. My intentions are clear. My off alignment actions are coming from some belief that's running in me. So instead of ever making myself wrong, I'm going to give you one of my magic words. It's boop. Let me give you the right place. Curiosity. Can you fucking get curious about the things that you blame yourself for? Because if you can turn blame, I'm making this up right now, to bold, you win. You win. And we are so lucky because we have instant access to making these videos live right now. So I run 2 live missions, 30 days each, called Video Vixen. One just ended, the next one's in December. It's a 30-day video challenge with prompts and a whole bunch of shit. And you know what? I give it for free because it's fun. I love it. I fucking love it. And you know what? People create systems in their body that they're committed to showing up for 30 days. So where in you are you looking for a habit? Where in you are you looking for trust, right? Self-trust. Now, I'm also an actor. I did a one-woman show. I teach the course, Fuck Your Fears. So I have to constantly work on my fears. And so if I don't, my inner voices are like, look at you teaching Fuck Your Fears. Meanwhile, you're laying around scrolling on your phone. So if I want to deal with those voices, which are super loud and annoying, or I can take an action. I could start writing out comedy. And so what is let's like start to drum up some ideas and let's share them here or share them in your journal. What is your bold desire? Now, if you don't know your bold desire, it's okay. I want you to check in. Who is running the show today for you? Is it a little inner girl who's like bright, shiny object syndrome? Is it your inner teenager that's like, who the fuck is this? She's kind of nasty and mean, or she's hiding. So the opposite, is it the grown-up goddess who's like, I trust everything. I'm so happy to be here. Is it your wounded masculine that's like, you don't have any business being a business owner. You can't even balance a checkbook. You're fucking broke. You know, that very bully-like voice. So we all have all these parts. And once, I'm going to repeat this, it's so important. Once you know who's the loudest, you can take a moment, relax your asshole, relax your belly, relax your shoulders, relax your eyebrows, and ask yourself, who's running the show right now? And if it's a bully masculine, what does that bully masculine need? Does he need some control? Maybe go look at your fucking budget that day. Maybe go take a walk and stomp your feet around the block. Is it your inner teenager? And does she need to put on her hoop earrings and take a fucking walk in the supermarket and get attention? Or is it your little inner girl that needs to go take a bath? And once you take an action that satiates that part of you, then your whole self can come together. And I'll tell you, sometimes when my inner teenager is trying to run the show, she's not exactly easy to please, right? So she might need to put on tons of makeup. She might need to make a live video. I have a story. So one day my inner teenager was running the show. It was like in the middle of the pandemic, and it was just like fucking enough. So I'm laying on my couch and I took a picture of my pussy. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I put a bunch of filters on it and I put some stickers on it and I put it on my Instagram. And nobody knew what it was, only I did. And then I went into the awkward enchanted coven, and I thought, the next day I thought, like, if I thought this was fun, other women will think this is fun. So my inner teenager gave me this idea to take a picture of my pussy, to cover it up with filters and stickers, and put it on Instagram. Nobody knew what it was. I repeat, nobody knew what it was. You could go see it. And I invited the women in the coven, in the Awkward Enchanted Coven, my free group, to do it too. Well, 9 women did it, or 8 plus me. 1 woman sold that art to a man who wanted to buy it, a married woman. I think she sold it for like $230 or $250. She had it matted and framed and sold it. Are you fucking kidding? So if you can really get clear on listening to your inner teenager, and I have an article about this on Medium, she can give you amazing fucking business ideas. Because if you're being serious in your business, forget it. It's going to be boring. You're going to hate it. So it's extra important to honor the teenager in you. Not as someone to push away, but as a part of you that has fears, needs, and desires. And if you can start to listen to them, that part of you, will get on board and feel the freedom that every entrepreneur strives after. Wow. I love everything I shared, and we are at time. Oh my God, it's exactly 5:30. My inner masculine is very fucking proud of myself, I gotta say. All right, so just make me your friend on Facebook. Let's be in touch. If you have any questions, if you're like, what was the name of your group? How do I work with you? Just send me a DM. I feel very open today. My program started, it's filled. I got clients, I got the sunshine, it's fucking Friday. Tomorrow I'm in a mermaid parade, I'm the judge. So I'm very excited. Thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in live, I'd love any feedback. I'd love to connect. Have a beautiful rest of your day. This is Enchantress Shane signing off. Sayonara, Shabbat Shalom. Peace out. Bye.